So as the sequel of the Infinity War, but also the wrap-up of the entire Infinity Saga with 22 movies all together, how do you feel like it did? What's up and welcome to None of This Really Matters. We're here, we've cut ourselves off from all social media because spoilers be everywhere and tonight is Endgame. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Jacob. Tonight is the night after 10 years in the making, after seeing Avengers Infinity War last year and having movies like Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel hold us over. Tonight is the night we finally get to see what happens after the snap.
Oh, snap is right, because this has been an amazing journey to be on. 10 years. It all comes down to this. Who's gonna kill Thanos? Who's gonna die? What's gonna happen? And 10 more years later, after all this, how is that all gonna come down to it? What do you think's gonna happen?
All these questions of like, who's going to kill Thanos? Even if Thanos is going to die, who knows? Things about 10 years in the future. Is Avengers Endgame going to be just a tiny little footnote on the new climax that you have in 10 years? I don't know. To be honest, there's too much that I don't know.
We have talked about so many theories, had so many predictions, but tonight is when we're gonna actually find out what is gonna happen. Will Tony Stark die? Will Captain America continue to live? Will Tony grab the gauntlet and snap everything back, killing Thanos? I don't know what's gonna happen.
With all these theories going around, some are plausible, some are not. I've seen some ridiculous theories going out there, and to be honest, I learned my lesson with Avengers Infinity Wars. I'm just gonna see what happens and not even worry about a theory because I know I'm gonna be dead wrong. So the point is, Marvel, the ball is in your court. I am ready to be blown away.
I honestly don't think that I'm not gonna like this movie because it's really just been the journey. It's been an experience. It's been really awesome. I know that the directors and the producers are going to take care of us. They know what we as fans want, and they care just as much as we do about these characters, and that's what the MCU has been all about, building up characters. This is the movie of the decade. I can't wait. Let's hop in the car and get it on, because we are in the end game now.
Oh my goodness.
Man, oh, what did you think of that movie?
That was epic.
That was an awesome experience, especially since they brought everything together. Probably one of my favorite experiences I've had in a movie theater.
Without a doubt.
So as the sequel of the Infinity War, but also the wrap-up of the entire Infinity Saga with 22 movies all together, how do you feel like it did?
I think it took all the ideas, all of our theories, tied it all up in a nice good bow, and wrapped it up really nice for us.
They took pretty much all of the theories and predictions that I had and took it to the next level. They surprised me.
Before I even went to the theater, I thought, you know what? I'm not even gonna try and guess what they're gonna do because they're gonna throw me off anyway. And I was right, because even in my mind, I think they're gonna follow it this way. They didn't. They totally threw me for a loop.
I've talked about this movie for so long with you, with everybody, and yet this movie still surprised me. It was awesome. And not only that, a lot of fan service happened in this movie that I, as a fan myself, can appreciate.
Having said that, I think if anyone born in the future, if they were to watch all the Marvel movies in order, it would be a journey. A very excellent experience to just go through these entire stories and feel the connections with these characters and to just have it be resolved.
And I feel like that's what this did. This movie was the ending of the first saga. This is not the end of the MCU. There's so much more going on. Not that this movie hinted towards that or not. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Doesn't matter. This was the end of so many of the characters that we know. It was the wrap-up of their story arc, and they did a great job for not only fans, but I honestly feel like anybody could have appreciated this movie. So without spoiling the movie, let's talk about some of our favorite parts and maybe even some of our favorite characters that were in this movie. What about you?
There was always witty banter between all the other characters because everyone came together. So having all of them in there in the mix, there was awesome witty banter between all of them. And I thought that was great.
So true. Also, the end scene and battle, which we all knew was going to eventually happen, that was pretty epic. Didn't think that the Avengers would ever turn into a Lord of the Rings situation. Really awesome, cool stuff.
For me, without a doubt, my favorite characters in the whole MCU have always been Iron Man and Thor. If you like these characters, you're going to see some epic moments from all of them, but mainly Thor and Iron Man, in my opinion.
What was really cool about this movie was that, yes, it's a combination of all of the movies that have come before it, but it really felt like an Iron Man, Thor, Captain America story, the OG Avengers. It was all of them facing their demons, it was them facing the trials, it was them figuring out what their character arc was, and it all wrapped up really, really well here. That's what I really loved about this, but something that I absolutely thought was so cool was Hawkeye.
Cool.
Like from his perspective, awesome. And finally, we get to see justice be done to his character, because I've been saying it for so long. He's been a character who has been
underrated, for sure.
Super highly underappreciated.
He is no longer a character who just arrows from his flippin' bow. He's always been more than that, but now we get to actually put the spotlight on him.
And the great thing about this movie is that we saw that was going to happen in the trailers. Hawkeye looked pretty bad,
Awesome.
But the thing is about the trailers is that they withheld so many information from us so that we could get hyped. They marketed this movie so awesome.
Way good.
This movie has so much more depth than I thought it could ever have as a comic book superhero movie. Some people might want to fight me on that, but I really think that the layers that these characters showed shine more brightly than most of any of the other movies that we've seen in this universe.
We're trying really hard to not give any spoilers out right now through this. It's really hard because there's just so much going on. But I will say, going to the movie is an excellent experience because you're going to be on the edge of your seat. You're going to be cheering. You're going to be yelling at the screen. You might be crying. You might definitely have tears of joy. But odds are, you're definitely going to have an emotional reaction to this movie.
I was told leaving the theater that I was the loudest in the theater with all my cheers, there were times where I stood up in my seat cheering for the things that happened. Does that make this the greatest film in the entire world? Maybe. I don't know. But I do know that this has been, like you said, an awesome journey and a crazy experience. The MCU did it right with this.
And just like we said earlier, we don't know what the plans are for the MCU in the future, but we do know that the Spider-Man movie's coming out in July, and they have a couple more projects coming up.
That's true, and Disney Plus has all those crazy TV shows that are coming out. We're definitely going to get another Black Panther movie.
Yep.
We're definitely going to get another Guardians movie because we know that those things clean up in the box office. Speaking of box office, this movie, Endgame, set a brand new record of an opening weekend, hitting $1.2 billion and climbing. It's ridiculous. And of course that was going to happen. When history is changed in cinema, you're going to see crazy things happen. So, shut up, James Cameron.
Thank you guys so much for coming to see our spoiler-free reaction of Avengers Endgame. If you haven't seen Endgame yet, you better go and see it because odds are you're not going to be able to be spoiler-free for much longer.
So comment down below, tell us if you're excited for this movie if you haven't seen it yet, but let's be honest, almost everybody's seen it because of the crazy money that this movie has been making. So comment down below and tell us what you really liked about the movie. Try and keep it spoiler-free if you can, please, because maybe there are some invalids who have not seen the movie yet. So go ahead, comment, like, share, subscribe, all of those kind of things. Do it if you want to. If you don't, that's okay, because in the end, none of this really matters. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here today at Nerdy Blurb TV and checking out this video. Consider subscribing if you're into this kind of stuff because we like to keep it nerdy here and interact with cool individuals such as yourself. Have a great day.